I said early today, it's only about 10 to 10 a.m. South African time, much earlier than our usual time slot. Of course, today, special occasion, 3-hour endurance race. Of course, we're here at the lovely and yet technical Mount Panorama track here in Bathurst. Some interesting times ahead. A couple of guys out on track already. Qualifying has started. I see 30 minutes qualifying. Start time looks like it's going to be a little bit later. It was set to qualifying was set to start at about 22 and the race at 10. But I see qualifying is set for 30 minutes and not 20 minutes. So the race will not start at 10 a.m. as we anticipated. But nonetheless, we're here 3 hours. All about having fun, and let's see how the guys will pace themselves. 3 hours is long. And I must say, I joined in free practice and it went over to qualifying without me getting stuck on a car. Normally on a Thursday night when we do this, we have to restart the game, restart the stream. And yeah, funny enough, I'm actually impressed. Hopefully it is signs of we're moving in the right direction. We can actually stream qualifying and so forth, and you just go over to from one session to the another without having to restart. So luckily no restarts today, but we will see obviously coming from qualifying over to the race itself. So I might just have to restart the stream at the end of this qualifying session before the race start. Right, you can see a couple of guys on track there. Kuda, of course, one of them. I see a few guys also decided to change cars for the endurance race. Of course, this speaks back to the Thursday Night League. All points today will be double points. Of course, a couple of guys chose to change a few cars. Of course, Gavpeak decided to stay with his Bentley. I see Nismac swapped his Bentley for an Audi. Then a couple of slight livery changes and a few new drivers. Of course, ZW Valandel, not really a new guy to the Thursday Night Racing guys. Raced Project Cars before, so nice to see him back. GT Carbon, a new name. Otherwise, most of the guys here today are part of a league. Of course, doing it for those double points up for grabs. 26 minutes to go still in this qualifying session. Valandel and Springbok Gamer, the only guys still to go out of the pits as yet. Springbok Gamer, they're still sitting in his Lexus. He's staying with his car. Whereas Valandel, he's got the Lambo. Nice looking Lambo. Nice color scheme, the black with the orange and green. Now Sebastian also sporting a different car. Well, he's got an Aston during the normal league, if I can call it that. He just chose to go for a different Aston tonight, of course, the V12. So, yeah, he actually earlier this week had a few practice sessions, and he really seemed to be enjoying this car, so we'll see how he goes with this. And of course, the key thing tonight with this race, of course, this is weather / time of day progression, so it means we're going to have a race from day to night, night to day, so that's always an interesting one to see. As you see, we can see a couple of guys slowly but surely coming in. Hello, Evan. Of course, Evan would have been one of our racers today, and at the last possible moment, he was told he had to work. Tough one, Evan. Unfortunately, it happens, but still, I know you would have looked forward to this. Who does not like a good old endurance race? So far, we got Nismax with a 2-minute 3, 4/10 off T9, and then a big gap off GT Carbon. But of course, GT still getting used to the track. Kuda actually topped it now with a 2-minute 2, so almost a full second faster than Nismax. Just give us an idea more or less what we can expect. Still early days. Of course, the key thing here, this is just qualifying. The main thing is the race. As it says, endurance. That first lap is key. Not to tangle with anybody. Keep it clean. And of course, just have a good clean first lap and pace yourself. Ooh, Nismax, some contact there with a barrier at the back. Nice looking livery also on that Audi. Of course, with Project Cars, the game we did previously before switching over to ACC, he also had an Audi, so not unfamiliar car for Nismax. If a Bentley is a boat, then surely that Audi we can refer to as a little jet ski, lighter and faster, more streamlined. But not that Bentley is slow. Of course, Thursday night he won the race in that Bentley of his. Okay, so even if he made contact with barrier, nothing serious, so he stays out. Came closer now to Kuda, so took 5/10 off there. Judge also out on track with his beloved supersized Beetle, if you want. Oh well, I think that's a bit of lagging there. There's no way he could drive through the barriers. Kuda stopped on track, but yeah, he's back in the pits. Just hope Escom plays along and guys' internet hold up. The last thing you want is to be kicked out of a race halfway through. I guess that's true with any race, but especially endurance race. Gas peak in the pits, no lap time as yet. Might be on his way again. Here we go. Landed out on track. And of course the peak just coming out there behind him. So you can see they right behind each other on track now. Bouch also coming out of a pit lane. Evan, not gonna happen, eh? Not Frick. Frick is too in love with that super-sized Beetle of his. Damn, it's a pity you have to work. Yeah, it would be nice having you here. Of course, Mr. Canoe. Springbok game on his way out. Chen very close as well in front. Not 4/10 of a leader. Not much between him and Nismax at the moment. And there we go. As I said, Nismax now goes faster and Kuda now 18 slower. So good lap here from Nismax. So just getting you more and more used to the track as they do more and more laps. 21 minutes to go of this qualifying session. Of course, this qualifying, you can also say practice if you want. A couple of guys also use it for last minute practice before the race starts. But yeah, looking forward to seeing a race from day to night and night to day. The time progress like we would see. And we had that also in Project Cars on the shorter races as well. Always nice to see. This brings that extra element as well. Last thing you want is to have rain at night. I remember one race we had, also had the privilege of streaming it. It was Monza, while we were Project Cars. It was a day to night, and of course the race finished under day conditions. But during the night it started to rain and it came down. And that following morning, just as it started getting light, it was also that misty spell. And of course we all know Monza can be misty. We had it with a GT race in real life before. Heavy raining conditions, then mist, and it's quite thick mix. Oh, and there we go, Nismax just lost it there in the mountain section and decided to go back to the pits. Then of course in with his little pony. So there we go, Evan. If you see Chen again, talk to him. You can just sing that theme song of My Little Pony to him, because he's driving a little pony as well. Not the best of cars at the moment in real life. No, not the best of cars in real life at the moment in F1. Of course, have a very dismal season. Of course, on the game, I must say the guys like make the Ferraris look good. Nismax coming out just as Chen comes around. Oh, Chen I think decides he's going to go back into the pits. One thing, of course, about this, you can skip back to the pits. That's something that you can't do in F1. You have to drive all the way around just to make your way to the pit lane. That's Sebastian, 3 seconds off. I'm sure he can do better than this. Of course, a guy that didn't do much racing this week, thanks to an injury, so it's also for him to get back into his groove. So I'm sure he will do a few extra laps just to get used to this. Of course, and trust me, it's a well and true injury, not one that you want to sit in a racing rig with. Gavin and Gavpik in the pits. Funny, Mr. Alice chose his Honda earlier this week and he's sticking to the Honda. Not sure if Merck sacked him or Merck is not his thing anymore, but how maybe he's now in a Honda. Because Gavpik started the season in a Honda and then second race onwards he's in the Bentley and never looked back. So clearly the Bentley is working for Gavpik. Also still no lap time, just under 18 minutes to go. Yeah, Evan, you must say, you must give it to that poor oak, doing with that, having to do with what you have to do. Yeah, so Leclerc, I think he's got his hands full. Vettel obviously don't care anymore. He's on his way out, and I think also a bit of bad blood maybe between him and Ferrari. It's not unusual. Guy on his way out, you don't really get included in much, and of course, think about Leclerc, he's going to have to make name for him, and now he's got a car like that. Oh, here we go, not Sebastian, breaks into the 2-minute ones. Finally put in a proper lap, and there we go, not Sebastian and Ismax. It seems like a battle of old. Of course, I remember a few seasons ago, Project Cars, streaming that on the Thursday night, you had the likes of not Sebastian, Ismax and Gavpik battling for the championship. Always nice to see if you have more than one, well, more than two drivers going for it. Because some guys here have serious pace, of course. We saw Kuda, Tina, and also have the ability. Always nice to see good battle in front. So yeah, back to F1. So at least Leclerc get a decent qualifying, if you can call it that, given the circumstances. But yeah, you must feel for someone like a Carlos Sainz going there, seeing this, not doubting his move. But I think that Aston Martin is the car to watch. I think that's the car of the future, because if you think about it, Mr. Stroll got the money, not afraid to splash out money either. I mean, there's lots and lots of rumors about Toto leaving Merck. I won't be surprised if Toto end up with Aston. You have Vettel now, former champion. Stroll coming through with the right technology and equipment, with Daddy not afraid to fork out money. I would really say let's watch that Aston team going forward. There's obviously some high hopes there. But yeah, let's also see what happens to the old Williams team now that they're under new management. Also, people who have fun, so let's see if they can develop that team into something decent again. Would be nice to have more teams going for it and not just a Ferrari, Red Bull and Merck thing. Because last Sunday was actually a treat for F1 fans. You had an Alpha Tauri, a McLaren, and obviously a Racing Point on the podium. Of course, a McLaren in the fourth place as well. So it's always nice to see the smaller teams or middle teams getting up there. The more the merrier. That makes the racing more interesting to watch. Then I know Chen is not a slow guy. I think he's still sandbagging a bit because he's done this track before. Now I think there was also an endurance race, if I remember correctly, and he had a half decent run there. So don't underestimate Chen. And of course, Project Cars, last season championship winner. So he definitely has the ability to do it. And if I'm not mistaken, he kind of like eat, sleep and drink ACC. The guy that's always sick, he needs his ACC. Okay, more than halfway through qualifying, so getting there, moving on. Ooh, big moment there for Tina, and when he drives through the barrier, but should have a bit of a lag there as well. And he will make his way back to the pits. Yep. Of course, for those of you watching, just a reminder, feel free to post some comments there and be part of a chat. Relatively close in front. 8 tenths off, but still an endurance race. I don't think that really means anything. For endurance race to mean anything, you need to finish it first. And here's that oversized beetle again. Oversized beetle, but it's bouncing like a rabbit. I do agree with Evan there. Frick, it's time to change. And I can only imagine what Frick would say to us, his favorite 3-letter sentence. Well, three word sentence, sorry. See some extra viewers there, guys, welcome. Feel free to post comments there in the comment section. Judge still 5 seconds off, just finding his rhythm. Struggling of late with a, well, call it a setup with a Porsche if you want. I blame the Porsche, because I know he can go faster. And another reason to go there with what Evan said, time to change. We're going to have some battles in front, we're going to have some battles in midfield as well. So it's going to be one of those races we'll be looking at the time so far. Let's see what Jenny can do now. Getting more and more to grips with the track. As you can see, the track temperature 37 degrees. Not much of a wind, so that's a good thing. Just under 8 minutes to go of this qualifying session. And as you can see, really close in front. Tina's still not getting closer to them, but he's there. Just not far off either. Yeah, it's about a bit of a lonely battle there, time-wise. Ooh, and a big moment there for Chen. And that will put him back into the pits, of course. There we go. Of course, this is not a very easy track, people. For those of you who know this track, you'll know what I'm talking about. Nice speed, yeah. You can get some good speed burst here, especially here coming down this back straight. Of course, when you have a little tricky corner coming as fast sweeping right and then hard on the brakes to make that left corner, but you can really gun it through there. And also that straight just after the start finish line, also not a bad straight, but then of course a lot of corners and kinks. And that mountain section, you really have to get your braking point right, and you have to watch your turning. You also need to be cognizant of that other drivers around you. One small mistake, one lapse of concentration basically, and you can ruin your race. You don't want to get too much damage, because that's obviously going to you're going to end up you spending more time in the pit. Of course, that is if the vehicle is repairable, because damage are full, so you can eventually end up destroying your car, so you also need to keep that in mind. But first, like I said, those of you who are familiar with the track knows it's a very technical track. And this makes shaving a little bit more this time. As you can see there's 700s, not much in it. Devon is scared to qualify anyway, not just for the endurance race, but actually for normal league racing as well. Devon likes to hold back and run here at the back and look at everybody. I think he's more like a spy who is trying to see who's the bad drivers, he spot them from the back. Just remember, Ali's qualifying, you could have used it as practice as well. So don't be a real peep 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 when the race starts, ne? I'll be watching you. Under 5 minutes now. Last lap or so for these guys. For those who want to, of course, we're talking about everybody other than Devon. We know he's not going to go out. But Devon, you still didn't answer my question. Why the Honda? Why did you drop the Merc for a Honda? And of course, we saw also Gafbeek move from one race from the Honda to the Bentley. Yeah, that's it, Evan. I remind him. Mr. Chicken Whiskey. GT Carbon did actually improve on his time from the start. Just doing this extra few laps just to get closer, you know, just to get the feel for the track. And of course, as you can see in front, not Sebastian actually shaved off more of his time, and the gap actually opened up now to 5 tenths. So not Sebastian really using that Aston, so good to see. I think he's comfortable, he's ready for this race to start. 3 minutes 45 to go. I don't think he will be coming out again. He will now focus on getting ready for his race. Sitting for 3 hours is going to be tough, and all of a sudden, and thanks to that, Tina is now 1.3 seconds behind. I think it's also a matter of the sandbags coming off. The guys now starting to show their true pace. So Devon, why the Honda? Is jy doof? Ek het jou de vraag gevra, man. So we have 2 Ferraris only, but unusual compared to the Thursday night races. where Ferrari seems to be dominating the grid. Good turnout for Audi, 4 today. Then obviously that Honda, which we still don't understand. There's 1 Aston, 1 Bentley, 1 Lexus. And of course for Porsche, you all know you got the Porsche. And then Valandel in his Lambo. So Audi represented the best today, and second Ferrari. Just over 2 minutes. As you can see, we're in the corner as well. Qualifying with a green little mark next to it. Because you can also see when that turns yellow, it gives you an indication of a yellow flag on track. You can also see on that mini track map, of course, the red dot there is the car we're riding on board with. Then there's a yellow flag. Which car also triggered it, we will see that car then change to a yellow dot as well. So it's just some nice schematics just for you as viewer to also see what's going on and what's happening. Couple of cars in turquoise, some in grey. I think that might be speaking back to class or something, I'm not sure about that. But the red, of course, is the car you're riding on board, and yellow's a yellow flag car. Or the car that triggered yellow flag. And there we go, Kuda actually went faster than Nismax. 4/10 off not Sebastian. Going to be a freeway tussle by the looks of it, Nismax, Kuda and Sebastian. Unless Devon pulls a rabbit out of that. Gafpick in the pits, Devon in the pits of course, Boucher in the pits, so they will not be able to come around and do another lap, so they pretty much done. Kuda now also dives in the pits, so he's done. 45 seconds to go. Look, qualifying doesn't really matter as much, it's just your starting position, especially with endurance. Endurance, you need to go the full stint and finish the race to get the points, and of course, you know, have a bragging right if you win. So Gafpick, I think, and he's going to pull a Devon on him today. He's not worried about setting a time. So he's just going to, you know, focus on the race. 15 seconds to go. What can these guys do? Nismax, yeah. Go through that crinkly. Oh, there we go. Ooh, he goes pushed too hard. Go back in, stepping out into the barriers. He's going to come back into the pits. That's him done. Judy Carbon also done. We just still got Not Sebastian, and we got Chen on track, as well as Valandel and the judge. Well, now just Chen and Not Sebastian. Chen is through now as well, so we're just waiting for Not Sebastian. He's also diving into pits, so qualifying pretty much over. Nobody improved on their times. So we got Not Sebastian there in front, Kuda second, Nismax third, Tina fourth, Chen fifth, Carbon there sixth, Springbok Gamer taking 7th place on the grid. Nice improvement there, only 2.8 seconds off. EH Boucher 4.3 off in 8th, Valandel 9th, Judge 10th, and then of course Devon and Gafpick, who haven't posted any times. Now we're just waiting for this move over to the race, and then we will just have to restart the stream, of course, because I am stuck on the car. Just something that they can still iron out later. No, thanks for showing these people how to drive at speed, Muna. Okay, now I'm well and truly stuck, so let's just quickly restart this. So it's going to mean we're going to restart the stream as well. So just bear with me, guys. We'll be back just now.